Come once again to the House of Rulia's Call of Cthulhu game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
We'll get better at introductions eventually.
Yeah. Should we do character introductions now? Okay.
Sure thing.
You first.
Oh god. No, I've got a mouthful of pizza. Someone else.
Go for it.
Oh,
Anyone?
Walter.
Walter. Just that's it. That's it. Just Walter.
Tell us a bit about Walter.
I'm a private investigator.
Nice.
That's it.
Is that everything we need
Did
to
you
know
want
about
to know?
Walter?
That's all we need to know
My
about
past
Walter.
is of no concern to you.
Okay, Walter.
Very cryptic.
Okay, thank you, Walter.
And I am Eleanor Lockwood. I'm a nurse.
That's it.
I'm in London.
From London. I'm Carlotta Edwards, a nurse from New York, but I'm not going to be doing an accent because I can't do that.
Fucking yikes. Can I steal these sprinkles?
I think it might be.
Oh.
I know it's terrible, isn't
I
it?
have to get my hopes up.
There are some there's some lemon and chili crisps that's already open. They're not very spicy.
I'll die. It's okay.
Okay.
She's really white.
I'm really white.
So very, very,
So
very.
right.
I can't have anything stronger than a corner.
Okay, so
Oh,
you all
God.
received that letter that
Yes.
was sent to you by a mysterious Miss Moira Lockwood, who may or may not be related to Eleanor. So yeah, you've all got this letter and you're all assembled, like, you've all arrived on, like, the steps of the British Museum. It's about 5 o'clock. Getting a bit dark because it's, like, December. And yes, we're all there.
Cool.
Nice.
Right.
Hi.
Yeah, it's quite a windy night. It's pretty chilly.
In a slightly less racist way.
So, so you related to this Lockwood?
Have you introduced yourselves to each other though?
Is that not what it is?
No,
No,
that was
we
just
didn't introduce
Right.
me and the audience. It doesn't exist yet.
I'm sure it exists.
Eventually.
Yeah. So,
So, yo, guys, what's up? We're all
That's
we're all
very-
chilling here.
Oh.
That's very 20s, that manner of speech.
Yeah.
very, very.
Yo, my home dogs, what's up?
Oh, amazing.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I'm totally not eating pizza.
Very
Was pizza
20s.
invented in the 20s? Was it like, was before that?
I don't know. I don't really know the history of pizza.
We'll
How
look
can you
it up
not
after
have the
the
history
game.
of pizza?
I didn't research that.
We will look it up after the game. We will look up the history of pizza. Okay. Right.
Yes.
So let's start off with: does anybody actually know the person who invited us here?
May or may not be distantly related.
Fair enough. The
Well,
name is
no.
yeah.
How many Lockwoods are there in the world?
Apparently quite a few.
Probably quite
Yeah.
a few.
Clearly.
At least 2, because the last one died.
Yeah, well, still have
You mean vanished under mysterious
my grandfather
circumstances?
She
cruelly
vanished
shot
under the-
in the head by a crime writer.
She was being horribly, like, melted to death by an obviously evil artifact. So,
Not bring that
Yes.
up again.
No.
she's still not over it. She's still very much in pain.
Still hurts.
but not as much as Loretta was.
Go on, Loretta.
Anyway,
Anyway.
I don't know Miss Awkward.
no, I do not know her either.
No.
Just got a letter and I was like, okay.
No, although she did mention a mutual acquaintance, Miss Berkowitz.
So how do we
I've
all
done
know?
work for her in the past, so.
We know her. I don't know her.
She's a mutual friend.
She's a mutual friend
Of me and Walter, apparently.
of you and Walter, but
Yeah.
okay. I don't know her, but okay. We'll go with that.
I'm inclined to trust this Lockwood. Miss Berkowitz is very good client.
Good to know.
Fine, what does you do? Oh, you're a private investigator.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
What
so
are we doing?
the
Game
door-
master.
Yeah, the door opens. Well, like the doors are closed because it's like late and the museum's closed up early because it's Sunday. And the door opens and out steps like a figure in a kind of a long dark coat because it's freaking cold. With lots and lots of kind of red hair kind of escaping from her hairdo, and like really massive curls. She's got quite an angular face, but you can't see much of her face because it's kind of like all overshadowed by her massive hair. Like her hair is thing. It's like
It's
Is
a
she wearing a
thing.
hat like Loretta? Is she wearing Loretta's hat?
she's not wearing Loretta's hat. No.
No, that would just be
No.
too soon.
That'd be way too soon.
Don't even know what happened to Loretta's hat. It got burnt as well.
No, the
Don't
hat
say
also
that.
got burnt because
The
we,
hat-
we couldn't save the hat.
hat-
But it's
That's
certainly
right,
got a lot of like brain on it.
Ew! Got a hole on it.
It's got a hole in it. It's not a very good hat anymore.
Okay.
Of course, we don't actually know that any of this happened.
No,
at
no,
all.
no. This
Of
is all
course
our
not.
All
character.
mysterious.
No, this happened like what?
30 years
30
ago.
years ago-ish.
Yeah, it's 30 years
So-
ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she begins to speak, but the wind carries away her voice.
Oh no.
Speak up.
Hey, talk louder, please.
She tries, but then she just kind of like beckons you forward, and like you all kind of like follow her into the museum, where she shuts the door with a clang behind you.
That doesn't sound good.
That's never good.
It's never good when you can't leave. Anyway.
Seems to work out.
Yeah, I'm guessing everybody has been to the British Museum before. It has that amazing, lovely like museum smell.
Yes.
That museum smell of kind of like old things.
I do like that smell.
God, I love the smell of old things.
Not like dead old things, so there's some things in there are dead old things. But it smells
just
nice.
the
Are
smell
some
of
things
old
in there
things.
living old things?
Yeah.
Like a retirement
Oh, God.
home.
Yes, that's better. That's okay.
Oh gosh. Anyway,
No. Miss Lockwood, I presume?
on with the story.
Yes, I'm Miss Lockwood. Please call me Moira, because I know we've got two Lockwoods here, otherwise it's going to get confusing.
Hey,
I'm
Moira.
so good at like gamekeeping, guys. Could you please follow me? And she leads you up, like kind of instead of like going the way most visitors go to the museum, like straight forwards, she takes you to the side and up a side entrance, and up a couple of staircases up into like the places where the public are not technically allowed to go, where all the studies of various like employees and researchers are.
Feel like a VIP.
Yeah, like
You
it's-
have the earpiece, bitches.
the walls are all like panelled in like nice dark wood, and there's like a green carpet on the floor. It still has that nice old smell, but it smells a bit more booky, like a bit more bookish.
Right.
That's nice.
Nice.
I do like the smell of books.
There's like big portraits on the walls of various like important researchers who had worked there at one time or another.
Nice stuff.
You can still hear. You can still hear like the wind whistling outside in a creepy way, like that.
That's a bit crap. Okay.
She leads you on like towards kind of the end of the corridor, then like suddenly stops.
Right.
And like, thankfully nobody walks into her because that would be awkward.
That would be
Like,
very
that
awkward.
would be awkward. And she takes a key out of like one of her pockets and unlocks an office. She steps inside. And presumably all of you follow her.
Sure, why not?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, sure.
Unless you
I'll
want to
follow.
investigate the
I'll
corridor
follow.
or something.
Nah, I'm alright. I'm not feeling investigating quite yet. I'll go in.
Not yet.
Investigating on my last time.
Yep.
No investigating, no flirting.
No investigating of obviously evil items, maybe. And like the room is like it's a pretty nice room, really. You can tell it's like an office of someone who's been there for quite a while. Like there's a family picture on the wall. It seems like quite a well-loved study. She kind of like takes you in there and then leans back on the desk, kind of like resting against it like she's really tired.
Mhm.
Would anybody like to look at the room or say something?
Can I have a look around the room?
Okay.
Really?
surreptitiously, or
Surreptitiously.
okay. Like there's a couple of really long bookshelves and a nice rug on the floor, and you can just kind of tell by like looking at the bookshelves. All of these books are really old. Other than that, like there is a window but the curtains are drawn. You can't really see anything outside of it. It seems to be quite a nice study, really.
What are some of the titles of the books? Any witchy shit like last time?
Okay.
You're very meta here.
Roll 1d10, please.
Oh, exciting. Bear with.
What is it?
7.
Okay, and you can see like there's a variety of texts, and like most of them are not in English. There's some French texts, some Latin ones, some German ones. A couple in like languages that you can't quite identify just from looking at them. Some that aren't even like in Roman script. So like you can just about make out like a title which is Livre Cthulhu. You've got De Vermis Mysteris. You've got a couple of like sheets, like loose kind of sheets of manuscript looking things. You got one that seems to be in Chinese.
Okay.
Right.
I
Reckon with that.
can read Latin. So what do some of the Latin titles mean? Or do I have to roll for that?
You'd have to roll for that. But are you
Okay.
like, this is just kind of everybody's, unless you like actually go up and like investigate the book, which I wouldn't recommend doing because you just walked into the study with this random person.
That would be
Yeah,
good.
I'm looking at the shelves and I'm reading the things.
Yeah.
So do I roll the D100 to see if I can actually translate them? Like the titles?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm doing that now. $55, which is less than my number. So I
That's a
can.
good thing.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, you can see there's one called Cathart Aquadingen, which is very strangely written in Latin, but is then translated to that. It's something in another language, so
Oh no. Oh dear.
do you have any skill in German?
No.
You can tell that it translates to something weird in German, but doesn't seem to translate into English at all, which is very strange.
That's really odd.
Yeah, it's really peculiar and weird and stuff.
I'd ask Miss Lockwood why she wants, or what she wants us here for exactly. She mentioned something about people going missing.
Yes, she looks up kind of like a bit. She looks up a little bit startled, like she'd almost forgotten you were there. Her face is kind of like the light's behind her, so you still can't really see her face very well. But you can kind of tell that she's surprised and kind of a little bit upset about something. And she looks at you and says, "Yes, people have been randomly disappearing, and there doesn't seem to be any kind of pattern other than they've been disappearing after sunset, and
No similar locations.
no, they just disappeared.
Anything about their activities before they disappeared?
No, they've all been museum employees.
How many people are we talking?
We're talking about 5 people in the
Do
last
we-
month.
Right.
Do we know anything about these people?
One was a maid, who I didn't really know. One was an associate of Professor Fontaine, my benefactor. There was a security guard who disappeared. I don't remember the names of the others.
And this is this Professor Fontaine's study then?
Yes.
What does he study?
He studies literature.
Right.
No shit.
Specifically, ancient literature.
Sure.
Trying to
So-
think what to do.
Are there many staff members and museum employees around the museum at the moment?
No, most people have gone.
Right.
Did any of the missing people know each other
Maybe. Presumably they might have known each other.
from just being around the museum?
Yeah. I can't really tell if maybe the maybe they've encountered each other at some point, but I don't know if any of them had any like friendships with each other.
Cool.
She kind of like turns to kind of like look at the office and kind of takes in a deep breath. And you can kind of see her shoulders shaking a bit, like she's getting a lot more upset, but is really trying to hide it.
Did you know some of the missing people personally?
Yes, I did.
Do you want to expand on that?
They're there.
Yes.
Security guard was a good friend of mine.
Yes, we all have those good friends.
You don't need to pat me, I'm the keeper, I'm not actually...
It's okay.
I'll have to just pat some more.
We're not...
Yes, that's it. Comfort the person who will try and kill us at some point.
We're not actually laughing. This is an oral medium. So
Fine. You're warm, okay? Anyway.
you can't lean on me.
Oh.
You're gonna get the blanket keeper upstairs.
It was gay.
Gay.
Oh, the gay.
It's almost like the lesbians or something.
Yeah, maybe. Back to character.
Back to character, back to game. That nice sequence
Yes,
to
where
game.
we were.
Where we were.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
so where did the last person? Who's the last person to disappear, and where was it?
The last person to disappear was Professor Fontaine,
Oh,
Oh,
and he disappeared last night
from where?
from where?
from his office. I knew he was working late, and I couldn't work with him last night. But then he didn't show up till today.
Oh dear.
Can I have a? Would you mind if I had a look around the room properly?
Yeah, yes, that's okay. Moira looks at like the painting on the wall, and you can like see her eyes filled with tears, and
You can see his face now.
she's she looks at you like once, like so you can see her eyes are full of tears. Does anyone want to do a spot hidden?
I'll do a spot hidden.
Oh,
Roll D100. 50, and yeah, that's good.
okay, you can see there's something not quite right about her face. It seems a bit too angular, a bit too sunken.
Is she like dead or something?
Who knows?
That makes me really uncomfortable.
We can certainly make
Yeah,
her
I'll
dead
do
and
one
then
as well.
check.
She notices that you're looking at her face, and she like pulls her hair a bit more in front of her face and like says, "Excuse me," and kind of walks out of the room very quickly, like crying, leaving the door open.
Okay then. So
Okay, I'm
Yes.
doing a spot hidden as well.
Okay.
you doing it on the room? She's gone now.
Yeah, the room. There it is.
The room. The flesh gone.
That is 49. I believe I'm 55.
Thought you were 19.
Should fade. 55, yeah. So that's 49, so that's
Good.
So yeah, you
that's good.
That's good.
successfully spotted that the desk behind, like the chair behind the desk, seems to have been like moved really suddenly. Like there seem to be very noticeable like grooves in the wood.
So signs of a
Come on.
struggle.
Can I take a photo of that?
You may. What's your photography skill?
50.
Roll for it.
Nope.
No.
I
No.
try and take it.
You take a picture, but it's too blurry.
Ah.
When it develops, it will be too blurry.
Can I try and take one? I know mine's only 10, but like, might as well
Oh, good.
try.
Do you have a camera?
I do.
I don't. I can use your camera. Can I
You can try for
Can I
one.
use Walter's camera?
If Walter is okay with that.
You okay with me using your camera, mate?
Fine.
Oh, it's a shit picture anyway. I don't know how to take photos.
You don't even know how to make the camera work.
I don't even know which
Yeah,
button do I
yeah.
press.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you just kind of fail.
just failed miserably.
I'll
Okay,
just take my camera back.
that's alright.
That's
Sorry.
a good idea.
Amateurs.
Alright. Okay.
What's that painting that Moira was quoting at?
It's a portrait of Professor Fontaine next to a tall blonde lady. And there's a couple of children. So
Is this
presumably-
the family portrait?
Yeah.
Is there a caption?
No.
You sometimes have captions. Or is that in the really fancy people's pictures?
That's the really fancy people's pictures.
Might have been a fancy professor.
I never know, they could be fancy.
Could be fancy.
He's a bit fancy. You get the
Right.
impression from his office that he's a bit fancy, but he's not ridiculously fancy.
Can
It's
I,
not that fancy.
can I investigate the desk? I'm sure it has drawers of some kind.
Yeah. You can investigate the desk. Okay.
Rolling
Roll
for
for hidden or
spot hidden.
whatever.
18, yes.
Okay. On top of the desk, there's a statuette of a pharaoh's head. You open the drawers, and in the drawers, there's a lot of kind of loose leaf bits of paper that seem to have been bound together with string. You kind of shuffle through them, and you notice one of them seems to be like sheet music.
Right. Sheet music. Interesting. Does it say, is there a title, anything, composer?
It's you can make out the title. It's Massa di Requiem per Shaggy.
Okay. Right.
Can I translate that or attempt to translate that?
Do you have Italian skill?
I have Latin, which is kind of Italian. Does that count?
You can try. It'll be half of your Latin though.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yes.
You work out that it says Requiem Mass for Shaggy. You
Or what? Sorry?
can't Shaggy, whatever that is.
That's not a word.
That's
That's really not a word. Okay,
right.
fine then. That's nonsense music.
Do you do it? Can any of you read music?